Good evening, everybody, and happy St. Patrick's Day first and foremost. We had another strong day in the market. Yesterday did qualify as a follow-through day. And really a follow-through day is on any rally attempt, usually the second or third day, should the market close higher on greater than normal volume from the previous day. That does qualify for a follow-through day. So yesterday on Wednesday, when we heard from the Federal Reserve, we did have a follow-through day. So that means we doesn't give you the green light to go ahead and just buy anything. You want to just start to dip your toe in the water and buy quality stocks that are emerging from very solid basing patterns. Usually these stocks will be above their 200-day and 50-day moving averages. But one of the things that concerns me about this follow-through day is that there is an extreme lack of setups in the market in terms of individual stocks. So a lot of the tech stocks or enterprise software stocks that we tend to talk about on the channel, a lot of these stocks are still well below their 50-day and 200-day moving averages. So as we rally to these moving averages, we could roll over and go right back down. So we will talk about that and more on tonight's stream. Once again, happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. I see Joey is here. Welcome, Joey. Buy the Book says, hey, Tom and everybody. Good to see you. Buy the Book. Santa Monica Rodriguez. Cosmo Scary is here. Roland YT. Paranormal Witness Girl. Vinny Castellano says, hey, Tom. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Good to see you, Vinny Castellano. Soho Guy is here. Says, hey, Tom. Good to see you, Soho. Hopefully you're back in New York. The ABX Girl is here. Says, hi. Ahmed and Dallas is here. Aldo Gomez 007 says, hey, and good evening, everybody. Judy D says, hello, Tom, and happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you, too. The S&P 500 closed at 4,411 today. But the only thing that's concerning is if you pull up a chart of the S&P, and excuse me while I put my computer away here, you'll see the moving averages rolling over. So we are bouncing directly into the 50-day as well as 200-day moving average. So price could easily be deterred and turned right back down. So we do have to keep an eye on it. But this is progression. This is good news, and we finally did get our follow-through day. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. But tonight we're going to be walking around downtown Miami. We are right outside of the FTX Arena. And this is the Paramount building. And it actually was all lit up for St. Patrick's Day colors up until about 5 minutes ago. Not sure why they took it down. But Dallas says, hey, Tom, happy St. Patrick's Day. You too, is my friend. You too. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Dallas. We're right outside of the FTX Arena, which is one of the most profitable cryptocurrency exchanges. And I believe the CEO and founder minted himself a multi-billionaire. Pretty interesting stuff. I see Chris Beeman. Welcome, Chris. Roz999 says, hello from San Antonio, Texas, away from Buffalo for a couple weeks. Awesome. Love that, Roz. Please enjoy your vacation. Cosmo Scary says, Ireland told people to use blue and yellow for St. Patrick's Day. Love that, Cosmo. Judy D is here. Welcome, everybody. 007 says, I just finished color grading a project for Paramount. That's awesome. Good to see you, 007. Estelle is here. Says, hey, Tom, how has your day been? My day has been really good. My day is very good. I actually worked from home. I didn't go into the office today. I actually stayed at my house. Took it easy. Well, I guess not take it easy. I still was doing conference calls and things like that, but I was working from home today. Paranormal Witness Girl says, Tom, are you wearing green today? I am not. And I probably should, being that I'm Irish. I'm about 50-50, half Irish, half Italian, from New York, so I apologize. Soho Guys says, Tom, your voice would be good for a Tesla bot. So that's in the works. Me and Elon are going back and forth, doing some voiceover for the Tesla bot. Just kidding. But I would be open to that. So if Elon Musk, if you're watching the streams, I'd love to do a voiceover for the Tesla bot. Emilio J is here. Hey, Emilio, good to see you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. G-Hope is here. And the one and only British Gray from Tampa, Florida. Welcome, everybody. Hey, WW's here. Good to see you. So guys, let's just get one thing out of the way really quick, because tomorrow obviously is Friday, but more importantly, on Friday the 18th, which is tomorrow, we're going to be hearing from the Bank of Japan. So yesterday we heard from Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. Obviously, we got that 25 basis point rate hike, but tomorrow we are going to hear from the Bank of Japan as it announces its monetary policy decision. So the Bank of Japan is expected to leave its key short-term interest rate unchanged at negative 0.1%. The central bank is bucking the trend of the majority of the nations in raising interest rates despite the highest Japanese consumer expectations of inflation on record. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the Bank of Japan responds tomorrow, because inflation is running wild not only in the United States, but in countries across the globe. And as we know, Japan does have negative interest rates. So what do you guys think? You think we're going to see a rate hike? Do you think they will leave them unchanged? I think we're going to continue to see negative interest rates in Japan, and there's a lot of speculation on Wall Street that we could soon have negative rates here in the United States. But after yesterday, it doesn't look like we'll be having negative rates anytime soon. Mike S. is here. Says, my Irish ancestors came to New York in the 1860s. Awesome, Mike. Did they come through Ellis Island, I'm assuming? Emilio J. says, Tom, Irish and Italian mix called a potato paisan. Sorry, I had to. No big deal. I get it all the time. Yeah, it's very, it's almost uncommon to be, a New Yorker, Irish-Italian mix. Because, back in the day, I do not believe the Irish and the Italians got along. But Lori E., good to see you, my friend. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Hopefully it wasn't too busy for everybody today. But check this out. We have a full moon over downtown Miami tonight. Looks unbelievable. I did work from home today, so I didn't have to make that commute into the office, but we have a beautiful full moon over the FTX arena. Lori E., I see you. Emilio J., welcome. Mike S. Hey, Tim M. This is also quad witching. Yes, that you're right. We have the quadruple witching tomorrow as of Friday's close in the derivatives market. Aldo Gomez says, hey, good to see you, Aldo. So I think we're going to walk up this way. Very seldom do we go over here near the Frost Science Museum. So I do want to check it out. I'm not sure how the internet's going to go, but we might as well check it out. Hey, Christina's here. This is Happy St. Patrick's Day, Tom. I think you can be a DJ or a financial newscaster on a major network. I'm not sure about DJ, but I appreciate the kind comments. Photos from around New York says, Tom, CNBC says no change is expected from the Bank of Japan. Yeah, I was watching Bloomberg today a little bit on and off, and that is consensus. But usually when you have consensus, something tends to change. So I don't know. I think the world is going to pay close attention to it, because the fear globally, to your point, photos from around New York, is that we could be seeing negative interest rates here in the United States. I don't know about that, but there's a lot of notable prominent economists on the street that think over time we could potentially have negative rates too. So I'll show you guys the Paramount building. But before, obviously it's lit up in the Ukrainian colors, which looks great. But before, it was actually all lit up in St. Patrick's Day vibe. Christina says, Tom, there must have been tough living in the 1960s in 5 Points because it was Irish-Italian area, rival territory. Good to see you. Christina, James Davidson, my friend, is here. Hey, James. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Jamie Price is Happy St. Patrick's Day, Tom, and everybody. Right back at you. Daryl B. Welcome. Good to see you. Blue State Girl says, my husband is from New York and he is Irish-Italian too. Awesome. What part of New York? I am a Long Islander. Triple G, what's up? Samantha R says, hey, Tom, and everybody. Shauno is here. Welcome. Roy S says, hey, Tom, and all mods. How you doing? I'm doing very well. We're going to take a walk down here to the Frost Science Museum. But in a minute, we're going to have a really nice view of the 1000 Museum, which is, I think, one of my favorite buildings in downtown Miami in terms of architectural phenomena. So check this out. It almost looks like a scorpion if you guys want to check check it out. And I believe there's a helicopter pad on the roof. Cosmo Scary says, Tom, when are you gonna have the stream with the lo-fi music? Is it coming soon? So I'm working on it. I'm not sure if I want to do it on this channel or another channel, but that is definitely in the works. I'm thinking about doing some beta testing on multiple cloud servers. Obviously, I was using Microsoft's Azure cloud. Obviously, it's expensive, but I have a buddy who is letting me use one for free, which is very nice of him. So thank you. You know who you are out there. Hey, South Beach Trader says, hey, everybody. Hey, South Beach Trader. Good to see you. Happy Thursday and happy St. Patrick's Day to you. D says, love that building. I do too. Good to see you, D. Hey, Sally's here. Says, hey, Tom. Happy St. Patrick's Day. How was your day today? My day was really good. I did not make it to Brickell today. I was not working in the office. I chose to work remote today. Didn't really feel like making the commute. But I got a lot of work done, ran a lot of meetings, and I also was able to do some yard work around the house. But one of the things that I wanted to bring up really quickly is, does everybody see the price action in crude oil? So if you pull up the futures market, ticker symbol CL, which I believe is the light crude oil futures, and put a 50-day moving average on the chart, you'll see the exact price level where we came down to. We came down and settled right at the 50-day moving average. So just as we were writing about, I was writing about this in the Behind the Street newsletter, it seems like crude is catching a little bit of a bid at the 50, but, if we cut through that 50-day moving average on higher than expected volume, we could see this crazy oil cycle or this crude cycle be over. That is a big possibility, but we will continue to watch it. So here we are at the Frost Science Museum. Hey, James Davidson, good to see you, my friend. Dean, welcome, says hello from Dublin. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hey, Dean, that's awesome. So we actually have a real Irishman joining us. Good to see you, Dean. Dutchman says, Tom and everybody, happy St. Patrick's Day. Right back at you, Dutchman. Good to see you. My friend, the Paranormal Witness Girl, is here. Is hoping you will stream from Fort Lauderdale this weekend, Tom. Ooh, Paranormal Witness Girl, probably not this weekend. I may be in South Beach this weekend. So on Saturday, we may be streaming from South Beach, potentially. Although, I guess we'll leave that up for a surprise. British Gray is here. Says, beautiful. Hey, British Gray from Tampa. Good to see you. Cosmo Scary, welcome. Yeah, Triple G. Yeah, I think I see Chris Mills. This is top of the evening to you, Tom. Top of the evening to you as well. So let's check this out. This is Northeast 11th Street. We've never been near the Frost Science Museum in downtown Miami. Supposedly there's a little bit of a walkway here where you could walk around. And I believe if I stand on the corner here, you guys will actually be able to see the full moon that is blasting over the Frost Science Museum. GGNYC says, South Beach sounds delightful, can't wait. Yeah, I'm probably gonna be there on Saturday. Either Saturday or Sunday, I have to plan it out. Photos from around New York says Key West stream. I mean, I wish. The only thing about Key West is it's very difficult to get to. That is my only concern. So we may not be able to do that for quite some time. But next week is going to be an action-packed week. We will be in Philadelphia. I have a couple meetings and such in Philly. Hey, Eric 20, is there anything that could happen to cause you to go all cash? So I'm about probably, well, after today, I bought some stuff. I'm probably still about like 65%. I was about 80 in my actively managed accounts, but in my personal opinion, you never really want to be all out, right? You never really want to be all out, because when you do have some chips on the table, as I like to say, you get a better feel for the market. You get a better understanding of how stocks are moving. So I have two accounts. Obviously, one of them is my retirement account. in which case I never sell those stocks that are in there, but the majority of the equity that is in those retirement accounts are all index funds that either track the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ, in which case I just dollar cost average into those. But in my actively managed portfolio in Interactive Brokers, that is actively managed. And that probably right now is about 65. I did have to buy some things today because obviously everybody, for those of you who are just joining, yesterday was a follow-through day. So as I've been writing about in the Behind the Street newsletter, watch for the follow-through day. We did get it, but the only thing that's a little bit disappointing about the follow-through day is there's not a lot of good technical setups out there in leading stocks, because a lot of the stocks that we talk about, like the enterprise software stocks and the like, a lot of these are still down, 70, 60%, and all well below major moving averages. I think the only sort of true market leader, as you could call it, that is above all of the major moving averages is a stock like Nvidia or something like that. But I'm going to write about the positions I chose to enter in the Behind the Street newsletter that will be sent out to everybody on Monday. I had to pull the plug on the Behind the Street newsletter this week. It was just too crazy, and I was dealing with a lot of outages at work, so I had to attend to that. But this is the Frost Science Museum. I don't think we've ever been over here. Hey, Daryl is here. It says happy St. Patrick's Day, Tom. Good to see you, Daryl. Welcome. Soho guy says, wow, Tom, I'm 20% cash. So what did you choose to buy, Soho? So we were talking with Carolina Tom, and I think we've seen him in the chat oftentimes. He thinks the market is going to trade sideways for about the next 4 to 5 years. And I think that's an interesting thesis. So he's invested in a lot of income, sort of like high yield ETFs, which I think is an interesting thesis. So what about you, Soho? Hey, Ron Metro TV is here. Hey, what's up, man? Good to see you, Ron Metro TV. We are here at the Frost Science Museum in downtown Miami. I wonder how the internet is here, so let me know, everybody, if we are buffering. Hey, Mike Bell says, crude way high on possible supply shortage. Good to see you, Mike. Rob DeCarlo says, hello from Ohio, and happy St. Patrick's Day to you. You as well, my friend. Lockjaw is here. Says, green lights for St. Patrick's Day. Good to see you, Lockjaw. So the Metro Mover station actually drops you off right outside of the Frost Science Museum, which is pretty cool. Daddy Bog is here. Says, hey, Tom, good evening. Good evening to you. Judy D says, nice green. Hey, Judy, good to see you. Welcome, Lockjaw. Yeah, we've never been over on this side of the museum yet on the stream. Hey, Wendy is here. Says, hello from Vancouver. Good to see you. Welcome, Wendy. Robert Banker says, top of the evening to you all. Top of the evening to you, my friend. Thank you for joining tonight. Cool Weather Farmers here. This is just tuning in. How are you? Soho guy Brian says, Tom will be in heavy action next week. Yeah, hopefully we can get a stream or two in from Philadelphia, which I'm extremely excited about. Olivia is here. Good to see you. Melinda Hicks says, will you run the marathon? I think I may run the New York City Marathon and stream it. I think that would be interesting. That is what I'm planning on doing, but I need to qualify. But I'm trying to get some sort of a press pass type thing to do that. And approval to stream it too. So we may be either running the New York City Marathon next year or the Miami Marathon and streaming it. And I think that'd be pretty cool to have like a 3-hour plus stream, talk about finance, and run the marathon. I think that'd be cool. Carter is here, says, hey, Tom, good to see you. Looking forward, maybe seeing your WeWork office. Yes, potentially. I wasn't there today. I worked remotely, but maybe we'll see it soon. So we've reached the end of the line here, so we're going to turn back. Melinda Hicks, good to see you as always. Darrell B. Carter, welcome. Jonathan Richards is here, says hello. Good to see you, Jonathan. Community Canners is here. So Jonathan, we were briefly talking about how the Bank of Japan is going to let everybody know if they are going to keep their key interest rate in the negatives. So a lot of people look to the Bank of Japan for guidance to see if negative interest rates will persist, because there's a lot of fear that we could potentially have negative interest rates here in the United States. I personally am a little bit split 50-50 on that, but I guess time will tell. We did get a 25 basis point rate hike yesterday from our friend Jerome Powell. So I believe this is the back of the Frost Science Museum. Hey, Jay Bless is here, says, what's up, bro? Good to see you, Jay Bless. Roy S is streaming while doing the marathon will be first of its kind. I think it would be really fun, because I don't think a lot of people are able to see the actual marathon route. Captain Coomer says, thoughts on crypto? I'm very bullish Bitcoin and Ethereum. I do believe in those, I guess you could call them protocols long term, but I do think there's a lot of frothy activity, especially around a lot of the alternative cryptocurrencies. But Captain Coomer, speaking of cryptocurrencies, we do have a press pass for the Miami Bitcoin 2022 conference. So we will be streaming live. I think they are allowing me to stream 5 keynote speakers. So we will be front and center when they are doing the Michael Novogratz interview, when they are doing the Kathy Wood interview, and she is the CEO and founder of the ARK funds, as well as the one and only Michael Saylor. So we will be front and center for that. And that will be streamed live on this channel the 6th through the 9th. So make sure you are subscribed for that. Hey, Shaky23894 says, what do you do as a profession? So I am in enterprise tech sales. So I sell different software products as well as hardware products to enterprise customers. So those could be any company in the Fortune 500 and even strategic accounts in the Fortune 50. So that is what I do during the day. But I've mainly focused on selling into healthcare. So you could think about the largest hospitals, home healthcare agencies, and nursing homes. I've done a lot of implementations with EVV software, which is the electronic visit verification softwares, the EMR software, which is the medical records platforms and things like that. Captain Coomer says, nice, what is the date? So it should be April 6th through April 9th. And that will be the 2022 Bitcoin conference here in Miami. We do have a press pass, so hopefully we'll be able to check out and talk to some interesting people. Hey, John Ellis here, says, good evening. Today's volume about 3/4 the average. ES hit a major resistance at 4,400 and pulled back. Yeah, so John, I think it's interesting that you bring that up, because this massive rally, we're rallying right into the 200-day and right into the 50-day. So the major indices are still well below their key long-term moving averages. I would like to see the indices and a lot of the leading stocks break above those 50-day moving averages for a more sustainable uptrend. But you were 100% right on that, John. Good to see you. Santo is here, says, good evening, Tom and everybody. What's up, Santo? Good to see you. So I don't think we've ever been here on the stream. This is the Frost Science store. I guess you could call it the gift shop. Humane says, happy St. Patrick's Day, Tom. Good to see you. Welcome, Humane. Christina says, it takes $84 to fill up a car, as opposed to months ago, only $45. Insane. Yeah, well, Christina, hopefully we should be seeing some relief at the pump. Crude oil futures are actually down, but they are catching a little bit of a bid at their 50-day moving average. So I always like to use the ticker symbol CL, which is the light crude futures, as a gauge. Hey, Wendy England says $8 a gallon here. Wow. Crazy. Hey, Shaky says, Tom, what area are you in now? So we are in downtown Miami still, but the stream may look a little bit different tonight because we are actually directly behind the Frost Science Museum. Humane says, Tom, Western Slope in Colorado hit $4 a gallon this week. I think it's been about $4 a gallon in Florida places. So Looks like you guys are a little bit behind the curve on us, which is good, because that means you've had lower prices. But check this out. You could actually see the Ferris wheel all the way from here. This is all the way in Bayside. It's pretty cool. Holo Fuels is a nice stream tonight. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I think the favorite thing about this stream so far tonight is this full moon over Miami. Beautiful. D-Eyes is noticed it coming down today in terms of gasoline. Carlos Cruz says good night and evening to everybody. Hey, Carlos. Welcome. Christina says, Tom, there is only 1% Irish in Miami. Yeah, I think I'm probably one of the only Irish guys here. But this is cool. This is probably for St. Patrick's Day. So all of the, I guess you could call these, I don't even know what you can call them, but lights, I guess, floodlights, floor lights, are all lit up in beautiful green for St. Patrick's Day. Abdurizak M says, hi, Tom, I'm new here. Hey, welcome. Thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate it. And hopefully we see you on more streams in the future, my friend. So thank you for joining. Wow, check this out. This is a really good view of 1000 Museum, which is one of the newest additions to the Miami skyline. A beautiful luxury apartment building that is home to David Beckham. Miguel Gonzalez is here, says hi, good to see you, Miguel. Shaky23894 says you should go behind downtown where there is a nice path next to the river. You know, we may do that a little bit later on the stream. I do think you have a very good idea there. Sanjib says, hey Tom, how are you? Happy St. Patrick's Day. I am doing fantastic today, Sanjib. It's good to see you. WW says, Tom, what's your favorite stock between Meta, Home Depot, and Berkshire Hathaway? Probably Berkshire Hathaway. Yeah, I mean, if I had to choose between those, Home Depot is a really good stock, but I think with Berkshire Hathaway, you get a little bit more diversity as it is a holding company. You know, this would actually be a pretty good stream during the day when all the gates are down, but I believe this is the planetarium here. So talking about relative strength, WW, to your point, I think Berkshire Hathaway is one of the only stocks or the TMLs or true market leaders that are near new record highs. Now, you're not going to, you know, make ridiculous or generate ridiculous alpha by buying Berkshire Hathaway, but you're probably going to do pretty well over time. You know, it is one of the highest weighting stocks in the S&P 500, Berkshire Hathaway. Ron Metro TV says, Tom, as gas prices rise, is work from home a better option for companies to use? I mean, I agree with that. You know, it's really interesting how this sort of all played out, right? So to your point, if you think about it like this, as companies are just starting to bring employees back to work, what is going up? The price of transportation costs. So you could think about, you know, putting gas in your car. So it seems to be quite interesting timing. So I think the companies that are really going to retain and attract top talent are going to be those companies that are really flexible with how they put on their work operations. And I think that a company that adopts a hybrid working environment that gives their employees the flexibility to either work remote or come into the office, I think those are the companies that are going to do the best over time, because we've already proven you could be just as productive working from home. So a lot of the companies that I think make the mistake of mandating, I should say, a return to work, I think they're going to see a lot of churn in their talent, but that is just my opinion. I would like to know what you guys think. What do you guys think? Do you guys think if a company mandates a return to work, do you think that they would lose a lot of employees? British Craze says, Tom, what about Lowe's and Walmart stock? I think Walmart stock is near all-time record highs too. And that's another one of those sort of, I don't really want to say value plays, I'll say safety plays, right? So assuming we go into a recession, right? I'm not saying we are, but I'm saying, you know, assuming if we do go into a recession, you know, people are still going to go to Walmart. They have to buy food, they have to buy toothpaste. And that's why we were talking about stocks like Church & Dwight, ticker symbol CHD. These stocks have extreme relative strength, which means they are outperforming the majority of stocks in the market. And these tend to be all like the very safety stocks, you know, that make toothpaste, that make baking soda, things like that. which is a little bit concerning for the overall health of, I guess, I'm trying to be rational in the way I word this. I think it's concerning for the economic output in terms of how economists view the future of the economy. Wow, but this is a beautiful space. I don't think we've ever been here on the stream. Hey, Paul Tricky is here. Welcome, Paul. The one and only Mighty Bull says, good evening, Tom, and happy St. Patrick's Day. Let's roll. Mighty Bull, I sent you a nice picture of a beautiful Mighty Bull statue that one of our viewers got for me, so I appreciate you so much. Hey, Star Brothers says, the full moon is exact 18 March. Very cool. Wendy England says, Tom, it depends on the economy. If it tanks, people will lose jobs. That is true. Bernard Friedman says, yes, I finally made it to this live stream. Hey, Tom, good to see you. Welcome, Bernard. We are walking the Frost Science Museum today. FredX says, love New York City, but the palm trees and warm nights in Miami look so good. You're living right, Tom. Living right. Good to see you, FredX. So, FredX, I'm actually traveling to Philadelphia, which I've never been to. So I'm excited for that. Ethan G says, how high are the income taxes in Florida? So we do not have any state income tax in the state of Florida as opposed to New York. Jared Covey says, Tom, Charlie Munger is bullish on Alibaba. Yeah, I think he bought Alibaba last year, so I think he's down quite a bit on his position. But that is a good point, Jared. Carol H says, happy St. Patrick's Day, Tom. Hey, Carol. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good Thursday. You know, I'm going to see how... Oh, guys, check out this. Look at this cat. Wow, look at the colors on that. Yeah, it ran away. But yeah, that's one thing I noticed about Miami is there's so many cats. So many cats here. Arturo Flores says, hello, Tom. Getting home from work. Hope you had a good day at work today, Arturo. Carol H, have you ever been to the Frost Science Museum? This place is pretty cool. Ooh, look at this thing. Whoa, this thing is so weird. Very cool. It's like I'm in a car wash. Interesting. Yeah, Carol H, you definitely have to check this place out. This place is awesome. Maybe we'll have to stream from inside the museum one day. Hey, Abdullah is here. Welcome, Abdullah. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, WW. It's like, yeah, I don't think we've ever been here on the stream, so very cool. Hey, Sally is here. This is a beautiful view. Good to see you, Sally. Hope you're well. Hey, Otto is joining us. What's up, Otto? Good to see you. Otto, we did get a follow-through day yesterday, so I went back and looked at the volume. Volume was higher than the previous day. So it is considered a follow-through day. But that doesn't necessarily mean jump right back in and start unloading your entire cash position on a lot of stocks. We still have to be a little bit cautious, but I did buy the index today just to get a little bit of exposure should we have a big runaway rally. But there is a lot of lack of setups now. Ron Metro TV, probably not. I just kind of like doing this for fun. So this is inside the museum. Christina says, Tom, in 2017, the bit concerning value would be 20,000. In today's value, would double to 40,000. Is that correct? Could you reword that, Christine? I'm not sure. I may not be understanding your question. Canyon says the S&P 500 is still above the 200-day moving average. Is it? No. So the S&P 500, and that's what's so concerning to me, is we are still below the 200-day moving average and the 50-day moving average. So if you want to see some charts that I detailed and outlined for everybody, if you type !news, NEWS, in the chat, it will drop the link to the Behind the Street newsletter that I will send out Monday. But yeah, it's very important to look at those long-term moving averages. You know, as Paul Tudor Jones says and Stanley Druckenmiller, nothing good happens below the 200 days. So I would really like to see a lot of these major indices, as well as true market leaders, break above their 50 and 200-day moving averages in order to conclusively start a new uptrend. Hey, Penelope is here. Good to see you, Penelope. Welcome. Penelope is joining us from Tennessee. They did a great job on this space to make it extremely, extremely clean. There is not any garbage to be seen anywhere here. Hopefully we'll see the cat. Penelope, you did miss the cat. We just saw it on the stream, but maybe we will be able to see it once more. UPS's Fibonacci moving average is 233. Are you talking about the Fibonacci retracement levels? Ah, there we go. Let's see if we could see him. Hey, Star Brothers, Tom, about 400 bulletproof vests donated to the U.S. police to Ukraine have been stolen by an aid organization. That's not good. Huh. That is a fast cat. I don't know where he went. Hey, Kathy says, hey, from Boca Raton, Florida. Love Boca Raton. So there's a ton of New Yorkers in Boca, a ton of New Yorkers. But good to see you, Katie Corn. Buy the Book says, yes, very clean. Hey, Jay is here. Good to see you, Jay. Welcome, my friend. Water Blazing. Good to see you. Brad's Brains is happy St. Patrick's Day. Bought some corned beef. You know, I gotta go to a bodega or a deli or something. I actually had Cuban food today, which I guess is very fitting for Miami. Oh, Wendy England, you're talking about containers from China. Yes. The container ships, yes. Nathan is here, welcome. But Canyon Overlook, good to see you. Made in the USA review. This is third stream I've seen, but I always have to watch on mute. Thank you so much, Made in the USA review. The ABX Girls is yes, definitely, especially with high gas prices, 90 minutes. Katie Corn, good to see you. Melinda's like, where is everybody? So I think the museum is closed today. The museum is closed, being that I think it's almost 9 o'clock at night. Yeah, Paranormal Witness Girl is like, we don't have bodegas. We only have Publix. Dante is here. Says hi. Good to see you, Dante. UPS is Tom. If you look up Fibonacci moving averages, it will list moving averages by those levels. Most used is 8, 21, 55, and 233. Very interesting. So the only time I've ever used Fibonacci is to use the Fibonacci retracement tool. So I guess the theory is, you know, price tends to bounce around the, 0.618 area, I guess. Yeah, Wendy England says, I bet it's crazy in New York City for St. Patrick's Day. Well, the St. Patrick's Day parade was today, or at least I think it was still on. But from what I'm hearing, I believe it was raining. today in New York? So here's one last look of the skyline. Hey, Gary says, hey Tom, love talking stocks and the stream is wonderful. Thanks. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate it and thank you for watching. Hope you are enjoying the sights and sounds of Miami. Yeah, British Gray says, Tom, one of the reasons why New Yorkers are moving to Boca Raton, Florida is to escape the taxes in New York. That is a reason. That is true. Obviously, here in the state of Florida, there is no income tax, so we do get a little bit of a break on that. One of the things I like about downtown Miami is you could see the planes taking off from Miami International. You see, there's another one. So it's almost like, imagine if you were to live in one of these massive high-rise buildings. I would just sit on my balcony and watch the planes take off all day. Hey, Cheryl's here. Hey, what's up, Cheryl? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Ramos is here. Good to see you, Ramos. Miguel Gonzalez. Jonathan Francis, Tom, it was raining today in New York. Bernard Freeman says, when did the museum close? I think it closes around 8 o'clock. So we were actually here, but we didn't go inside for Miami's NFT week. Does anybody remember that? We were here for Miami's NFT week, which was amazing, amazing week here. But I believe next week is Miami Tech Week. So there's going to be a lot of people here for Miami Tech Week, which is going to be fun. Check out all of the building and there's so many buildings that are going up. You know, I was in Wynwood the other day, as well as Edgewater, and there's so many new developments going up, especially multifamily apartment units. Miguel Gonzalez, good to see you. Dante is here. Habib says, Tom, you should go to South Beach. You know, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. We may go to South Beach on Saturday. So we usually stream around 8 o'clock at night, or 8:30, I should say. So we should be in South Beach this weekend. Penelope says, are you attending any events for Tech Week? I'm going to try to go to some happy hours. But here in Miami, we do have a weekly meetup. So if anybody is located in Miami, if you go on eventbrite.com and type in Miami Tech, we do have a weekly recurring Miami Tech happy hour where we all meet up either in Wynwood or different locations, and we network and things like that in relation to tech. So if you go to Eventbrite and type in Miami Tech, I'm going to start to go to a lot of those meetings in order to network and build out my network here in Miami. And I would be more than happy if you guys are joining. Brian says, Tom, real estate investments seem to be pouring into Miami. Yes, they are. You know, we were talking about this yesterday, or I think it was 2 days ago. Single-family homes, or rental prices of single-family homes, have gone up 33% in Miami over the last year. That's insane. I think that is the highest increase ever out of any state or city. Jay says, are you taking a break this weekend for a change? So I usually do take breaks on the weekends. I just usually read and write the newsletter for everybody. But we will probably be in the one and only South Beach this weekend. Hey, Diane says, Tom, do you know the cost of condos? Yeah, I mean, here the cost of condos are extremely expensive as well, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it seems like everybody wants to move here. You know, another really growing city that's really expensive is San Antonio. It seems like San Antonio, Texas is attracting a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of businesses, and a lot of legacy enterprise software companies too are setting up shop in Texas. Hey, CatFan50 says, hey Tom and everybody, I noticed the Miami TV station has dedicated a dirty dining segment on their newscasts. Very interesting. The AVX girl says it was a good crowd at the St. Patrick's Day parade, but it was raining. Hey, Michael Ewing is here. Says happy St. Patrick's Day, Tom. Good to see you, Michael Ewing. Dante, what is going on? Good to see you. Jared says the S&P 500 50-day moving average is close to crossing below the 200-day moving average. Yeah, so Jared is referring to what is called the death cross. And I believe we've already had the death cross. I think the 50-day moving average is now solidly below the 200-day. And that is considered the death cross. So what I think is going to happen is we're probably going to have this continuation rally back to the moving averages, and then we could potentially have another sell-off as price rejects the 50-day. But we're going to have to watch it. We did get a follow-through day yesterday. Obviously on Wednesday, which was yesterday, we did hear from the Federal Reserve, in which case we did get our 25 basis point rate hike. Jared Covey says, Tom, San Antonio, Texas traffic is terrible. It seems like all of these growing cities like Miami, San Antonio, the more people that move here, the worse the traffic gets. And Miami has a major problem with traffic. So here is the Paramount building right here, which is obviously all lit up for the Ukraine. That says freedom on the building. Hey, Talbish is here. What's up, Talbish? Says walks in Wall Street. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's to you too, my friend. Andy S says, Tom, in North Carolina, townhouse prices have gone up like 50% in the last 5 years. Yeah, so Andy, you know, I think it's Jonathan Richards. He may live in one of the Carolinas, but supposedly, you know, the Carolinas are becoming really fashionable to live in. There's a lot of companies, legacy software companies and enterprise software companies moving there. So the Carolinas are experiencing a big boom in people moving there for sure. So let's check this out. I think there's people actually fishing here. I'll show you guys the full moon outside of the FTX arena. Hey, the investigator's here. It says, hey, walks on Wall Street. Good evening, friend. If someone is new to the stock game, what should be their first move? So I would just familiarize yourself with the financial markets. And I think the best way to do that is by reading. Oh my gosh, did anybody see that? Oh, I thought they threw a fish back. I thought that was jumping out of the water. I was like, oh my God. So I would just consistently familiarize yourself with the financial markets. I would probably get, you know, if you go to if you don't want to spend money, if you go to your local library, you know, you could sit there and read the Wall Street Journal for free. You could read Barron's for free at the local library. You could also read Investor's Business Daily. But if you want a really good book, I'll recommend a book called One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch. And Peter Lynch is the former portfolio manager, mutual fund manager at the Fidelity Magellan Fund, which is one of the most successful mutual funds of all time. So I would read all of Peter Lynch's books, and if you want to sort of know how to be a growth stock investor, I would read William J. O'Neill's How to Make Money in Stocks. That is a great book. The Mighty Bull, what do you think they're catching over there? Hey, Beijing Charlie is here. I think I see my friend EBITDA. EBITDA, good to see you, my friend. Hopefully you had a good day. And hey, happy St. Patrick's Day to you, EBITDA. Marty Lewis says, hey, Tom, happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. Good to see you, Marty Lewis. Cindy Foley, the one and only. Good to see you, Cindy. Cynthia Beal, my favorite, is saying, good evening, Tom. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all. D says, Tom, in my experience, Florida traffic has always been really heavy. Andy S says, yes, Charlotte is growing for sure. You know, I think this could be a combination of things, because on the stream, we always like to talk about political climate. You know, we really don't get too deep into the weeds in the politics. When I'm talking about political climate, you know, we talk about, you know, a lot of people are moving away from high tax states. But I also think it has to do with the weather too. You know, I think the good thing about the Carolinas is that you get all 4 seasons, but they're not as harsh as New York, right? So as a New Yorker, you know, you get hammered, you get really, really reamed in the winter. And the summers are extremely, extremely hot as well. But at least in the Carolinas, you get a little bit of the best of both worlds. You get your 4 seasons, but it's a little bit, let's just say, not as harsh, I guess is the right word. Michelle Henry is here. Says, hope everybody is having a great night. See you all next time. Good to see you, Michelle Henry. And thank you for joining. Triple G says, Tom, I'm in Fidelity's Contra Fund for many years. Big fan of Will Danoff. Yes, Will Danoff is great. Hey, WW, thank you so much for the $5 donation. I appreciate you very much. This is happy St. Patrick's Day to your Irish half. Thank you, WW. Thank you for the support. Really appreciate it. So here's another plane taking off. But WW, thank you so much for the support. Yeah, Andy S says East Coast represent. Michelle Henry says you're welcome. Marty Lewis says, Tom, I went to James and Carla's photography exposition opening earlier in the East Village. Wow, that is phenomenal. You know, I wanted to go to that too. Unfortunately, I'm here in Miami, but I saw that. I would love to check that out in person as well. I wonder how long it's going to go on for. Jay says, Tom, when the tide comes in, the shrimp come in, so people go shrimping. I never knew that. Very cool. Hey, Jordan LeBeau says, hey, Tom, I'll be in Florida on Saturday. What part of Florida? Are you going to be in southern Florida or near Jacksonville? Where are you going? Penelope says, Tom, the South is growing. People that had good benefits elsewhere are spending their benefits in the Southeast USA. Yeah, so Penelope, Tennessee is growing as well, right where you are. A lot of people are moving to Tennessee. Atomic Skittle says, hey, Tom, will you be in New York next week? You know, I will be in New York next week, but it's going to be a little crazy. I'm flying into New York, and then I'm taking the Amtrak train all the way to Philadelphia. Then I'm coming back on the Amtrak to New York. But Atomic Skittles, good to see you. Yeah, Bernard says you definitely experience season changing depending on the month in New York. Yeah, sometimes the day. A lot of times in New York, it's spring, summer, winter, all within 7 days. So here we are outside of the FTX arena. Jordan LeBeau says you're going to be in Fort Lauderdale. Cindy Foley says, Tom, I'm going to miss the Miami streams. We will be back, I promise. But everybody, just a quick recap. So tomorrow, the big news of the week is we're going to hear from the Bank of Japan as it announces its monetary policy decision. The Bank of Japan is expected to leave its key short-term interest rate unchanged at, get this, negative 0.1%. Yes, you heard correctly, negative interest rates. The central bank is bucking the overall trend of the majority of nations in raising interest rate despite the highest Japanese consumer expectations of inflation on record. So in Japan, obviously we know they have negative interest rates And a lot of people are afraid it's going to come here. So it's going to be interesting to see sort of what sort of direction we get from the Bank of Japan if they leave rates unchanged. I guess we'll have to find out. Hey, Dallas is here. So say, Tom, how was your day so far? My day was very good. Very good, very productive. I did work remotely though. I worked from home today. Andy S says, my dream is to visit Japan. I would like to visit Tokyo. I would like to visit Tokyo as well. Jordan LeBeau says, are you available to play tennis? Ooh. You know, send me an email of the dates you're going to be here, Jordan, and maybe I will be, actually, because mid next week I'm leaving, but potentially. Hey, John Paul says the Freedom Tower is Miami's first skyscraper built in 1925. So here is the Freedom Tower right here. One of my favorite buildings. Brad's Brain says, any news out on the Saudi-China dollar deal today? I didn't see anything. I mean, the only thing that I heard was they were in talks of pricing oil in yuan as opposed to US dollars, which I think if it does happen, which I doubt it will, because you got to understand something, the might and the power of the US military is what is backing the petrodollar. So a lot of these oil fields in Saudi Arabia are protected by the United States. And should anybody not want to price oil in the US dollars, well, I think that military protection may go away. Hey, Carol H says, One Up on Wall Street was the first finance books I've ever read. One Up on Wall Street is a great book. If you want to get a little bit more technical, and I know I always say this, a very good book on valuation is Margin of Safety by Seth Klarman. But I also like all the William J. O'Neill books, which is the founder of Investors Business Daily. All of his books are really good. How to Make Money in Stocks by William J. O'Neill. I see Faith is here. Good to see you, Faith. Welcome, my friend. Hope you had a good St. Patrick's Day. Cool Weather Farmer says, I love the Amtrak train. I'm going to take it for the first time in a long, long time. Hey, Lady O, the one and only, says, good evening, Tom. Looks like you have nice weather for tonight. We do. It's beautiful weather today, about 82 degrees and bright sunshine. So very happy about that. Brad's Brains says, excellent, excellent point. Yeah, I think in terms of the military-industrial complex, I think that is what's really keeping, you know, the petrodollar in place, in my view. But what do you guys think? Lady O says, happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's to you too, Lady O. We are now down in downtown Miami, passing the FTX Arena. We'll take a quick walk through Bayside tonight. Faith says, beautiful weather in Miami. Wendy says, I love the cars in Miami. The only thing about this, the cars here, is, let's just say the traffic is extremely heavy. Extremely, extremely heavy. Hey, Star Brothers says, Tom, the Central Bank of Sweden in July 2009 was the first to move one of its policy rates into negative territory. Says Star Brother. So Star Brother, let me ask you a question, because I'm curious what you think. Do you think that we're going to see negative interest rates in the United States? Do you think we'll ever see a time where we will have negative interest rates here in America? Hey, Tyler Silva's here. That is the Citibank building sign. Good to see you, Tyler. Welcome. Hey, Eyeglass Lady is joining. Says, top of the evening to you, Tom. Top of the evening to you as well, Eyeglass Lady. See, we are now at Bayside Marketplace. Wendy England is like, Tom, you have not seen Vancouver traffic. Vinny Castellano says, Tom, what advice would you give to your 10-year-old self? I would say be consistent. Be relentlessly consistent and disciplined, I would say. Gilbert says you don't think so. Faith says, Tom, how was your day? My day was good, Faith. However, I did work from home today. I worked remote. I did not go into the office. What about you, Faith? Star Brothers says you don't know. Tyler Silva says you see some stars on the floor. Yeah, I think there's sort of like they try to mimic the Hollywood Walk of Fame or something like that. Hey, War Walker, thank you so much for the $10 donation, my friend. This is Hola Tom, how are you? Here's a few dollars for the bus fare. Thank you, War Walker. You are very, very kind. And I hope you're having a good St. Patrick's Day, War Walker. Happy Thursday. Can you guys believe it's already the end of the week? Already almost Friday. But War Walker, thank you so much for the support. Faith says no work, Tom. Free bird. That must be the life. Well, Faith, you were in Paris. So I guess that counts as work. So here is the Bayside Marketplace. I think today, since it's St. Patrick's Day, a lot of people are probably in Brickell as well as South Beach. So today, obviously in the United States and around the world, St. Patrick's Day is celebrated by drinking and hanging out at bars and things like that. Samson is here. It says uranium is going to blow. Good to see you, Samson. Good to see you. Hey, Out and About is here. What's up, Out and About? Our moderator from the one and only Toronto, Canada. Good to see you. Sparks says great day for healthcare and software stocks. Financial companies like American Express did great also. Yeah, Sparks, so you're right. What we were talking about before is, we do have to be careful here, because one of my main concerns is, yes, to your point, a lot of these enterprise software companies, their stocks are rallying quite hard, but this could be what's called a short covering rally, because a lot of these stocks are still down, 50 to 70%, which is very concerning. So what happens is, whenever we have a little bit of a bid in the market, a lot of these short sellers will cover their positions, thus creating a lot of buying power in the market. Now, I still think we have a little bit of work to do, a little bit of repair work to do here in the market. I don't think we're just going to continue on straight to new all-time record highs. I would like to see a lot of the individual stocks break above their key 50-day and 200-day moving averages. Samsung says, Tom, it could be a sucker's rally. It's possible. We did have a follow-through day yesterday, but to your point, Samsung, a lot of the individual stocks are well below their 200-day and 50-day, so we could rally into the 200 and the 50 and roll back over in your point. Hey, Lucky, Vic Jose is here. Good to see you. Santo is here. Welcome, Santo. The Mighty Bull, as always, good to see you. Music Podcast is hi. How is your day going? My day is going very well. How about yours? WW says, Tom, do you drink, smoke, / party at all? I feel like you don't enjoy that. So I don't drink, I don't smoke. Don't really do too much of that. What about you, WW? Hey, Cynthia Beal says, Tom, my friend, has been a financial consultant for 35 years. He played football in college. He always says, just show up. He has discipline. I think sports helped him a lot to develop that. Yes, I agree. I think if you play like a college sport, like I played soccer in college, and that really, really helped me with a lot of the discipline. So I think if you ever get into sports or play at the collegiate level or the high school level, I think it's really going to help you in your professional life as well. And investing. Andy S. says Tom has a keg in his kitchen. Maybe, you never know. So this is Bayside Marketplace. We're going to exit over to the right here. and walk over to Brickell. Hey, Fidel Cashflow. Love that name, by the way. My God, such a genius name. Fidel Cashflow says, Tom, how do you manage to work in New York and Miami? Two great cities. I am a lawyer and would love to have our firm open an office in Miami. Was your employer always for you being in both cities? Yeah, so after the pandemic happened, I left my original company to try to start my own thing. So I'm doing a lot of tech consulting work, but I am affiliated with one of the largest called managed service providers, or MSPs. So the majority of my clients are located in New York City because I manage a lot of the infrastructure of a lot of the hospitals, home health care agencies, and nursing homes in New York. And funny enough, there's a lot of M&A activity going on in healthcare. So for example, a lot of the home health care agencies that are my clients in New York, they're actually acquiring home health care agencies right here in Miami, Florida. So I think the synergies were there. Also, I wanted to get into real estate investing, and here it allowed me to buy cash flowing real estate and save a little bit of money on the property taxes as well as the state income tax. There's obviously no state income tax here. So my piece of advice, if you want to open up an office here in Miami, check out a lot of the WeWork offices. So you could check them out in Wynwood, in Brickell. Very, very inexpensive options. And I think you would enjoy it a lot. But I think the move for me was more strategic for business purposes. And there's a lot of people that are not moving here permanently, but setting up second and third offices, to your point. But thank you for being here. That's awesome. I think you're gonna have a lot of success if you come to Miami. And shoot me an email. And if you wanna connect on Twitter, you can follow me at Walks Wall Street. I go to a lot of the Miami tech events, so we'd love to have you to network and come here. Penelope says, Walks on Wall Street. That's an Adam Ant song. Don't drink, don't smoke. You do brilliant things and we appreciate you. Thank you, Penelope. I appreciate you as well. Hey, Bob is here. Says, Tom has a keg in his kitchen, but it's for us. That is true. WW says, Tom, I can tell you're disciplined with how consistent you are with these streams. Yeah, I think with the streaming, it may not be a discipline thing. I think it's just sort of like a fun hobby, which turned into like a routine. So it's almost like I feel if I don't stream, I feel as if something is missing in my day. And plus, I like talking to all you guys, and I think it's fun. Yeah, somebody says, but that's boring. That's true. DJ Mike. Good to see you, DJ Mike. Bob. DJ Mike says, how was your day? My day was good. How was your day? Happy St. Patrick's Day, by the way. Andre says, next week is spring break. Prices are crash in Miami. But Fidel Cashflow, if you're interested in like getting an office space here, if you want to shoot me an email, I know a lot of good spots that are very, very affordable and flexible too, that are also 24 hours. Cynthia Beals says, Tom, sounds like Puerto Rican salsa music. Hey, we have Cole here. This is, hey, lifelong New York City resident here, Staten Island. Just put the house on the market yesterday. I love Miami and visit there often. I'll be relocating before the end of the summer, hopefully. Lost my job over the mandate. Ooh, my God. Well, Cole, I think you're probably going to get a very good deal on your house. You're probably going to sell it for quite a lot of money because in New York, I mean, the housing market is so hot, not just in New York, but everywhere. You're probably going to go into a bidding war. So a lot of people are probably going to be bidding on your house. So hopefully you walk away with a nice chunk of change. But Cole, if you're looking for a job, I'm not sure what industry you are in, but shoot me an email, or if you want to join our Discord, the Walks on Wall Street Discord, we do sort of have a little Discord server for networking opportunities. If you're looking into breaking into investment banking, if you want to work in mergers and acquisitions, sales and trading, private equity, venture capital, or if you want to work in tech as a software engineer or a software salesperson or a tech salesperson, or really anything, feel free to join us in the Discord. We'd be more than happy to have you. Cynthia Beals says, Tom, I looked at WeWorks years ago. They are nicely decorated. It was 80 Broad Street. Yeah, there's a really nice location at 80 Broad Street. You know, there's also another WeWorks location down there on 110 Wall Street, which I think is my personal favorite in New York. Also, I think the oldest WeWork in New York, correct me if I'm wrong, I think is Bryant Park. Hey, Sparks says, Tom, I do data visualization and infographics. That's fantastic. Hey, Perry says, I love the look of the Paramount building tonight. It was lit up in all colors for, what's it called? St. Patrick's Day. Jerry Kobe says, Tom, are the nursing homes struggling with staffing? Yes. So nursing homes, home health care agencies are all struggling with employee retention. So one of the things that we try to do when consulting with these businesses is try to build employee retention packages that solve a multifaceted problem, which is, number one, the main issue that we've seen in New York City in terms of home health care is the language barrier. And what I mean by that is the vast majority, or if you're consulting with a large home health care agency that has 6,000 home health aides, from our research, we've seen that not only do you have native English speakers, you have Spanish, you have Russian, you have Creole, you have traditional French, you have Mandarin, you have Korean, pretty much anything, you name it, they have it. So one of the biggest bottlenecks when onboarding a home health care aide in New York was the agency was requiring the home health aide to download their EVV and payroll software on their own personal phones, which was just a disaster. So what was happening was when these aides were clocking in and out, they did not have location services turned on their devices, so the aides weren't getting paid. So essentially there would be these massive lines stretching around the block in the Bronx and in Brooklyn at many of these agencies, and that caused a huge turnover in employees. So we created a solution where the agency provides either a smartphone or a tablet, and then we lock it down with mobile device management software through a code proof or a Scale Fusion, where the agency automatically remotely pushes these software applications to the aides in their native language. So that totally removes the language barrier from all of these aides. So they're getting paid, they're happy, and the devices are programmed in their native language. So we've essentially taken the employee churn from almost 100% down to 20. So not only did that increase operational efficiencies in terms of clocking in and out, but it also increased employee retention. Jay says, I want to go to college for basic language. Yeah, I don't know if they use that anymore. That's funny though. Cole says, fingers crossed, thank you. I will def reach out, appreciate it. Oh, wow. Chump Villa says, Tom, did I miss the Behind the Street newsletter this week? You did not. I was just really swamped and really busy this week, so I didn't I was gonna send something out, but I wasn't really proud of the work that I was gonna send out. I always like to send you guys a very well-researched piece. So I just wasn't really happy with it this week. So I'm gonna send you one on Monday. So you'll have it in your inbox on Monday. That I could assure you. But this week I just had a lot of unexpected outages at work. So a lot of the router products that I sell, we had a massive outage. One of the companies where we procure a lot of our routers is located in Lithuania, which actually borders the Belarus. So you can only imagine when a lot of the routers in the field went down, there was almost no employees to be able to fix the problem. So I pretty much had to do it myself, as well as a couple other individuals that we had to hire. So that was not fun. WW says, so Tom, are you working full time and also building a company at the same time? It's more of like a lot of contracting work. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a lot of my existing clients and trying to sign them up on a sort of as a service consulting contract. So I guess the value proposition is, instead of going to like a Deloitte or an Ernst & Young where they're gonna bang you over the head with the consulting charges, I'll do it for free and you only pay me if you have to renew a software license or something like that. I guess that's the whole thesis. Hey, Gustavo is here, says, hi Tom, greetings from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Love it. We have a ton of viewers in Buenos Aires. Good to see you. So another piece of economic data we're getting tomorrow is from the National Association of Realtors. They're reporting existing home sales for February. Many economists on Wall Street are forecasting a seasonally adjusted rate of 6.1 million homes sold, 400,000 homes fewer than in January. And I think the main reason for that is because of the shortage of supply. So even though there's gonna show fewer homes that were sold, you know, if you go, I mean, try this, everybody. If you go on Zillow and you look for single family homes in your market, you're probably only gonna have a handful. You know, here in Miami, in some of the, I guess you could call them towns and municipalities, if you look up single family or multifamily, like a duplex or a triplex, sometimes there's only like 1 or 2 homes available. So I think the shortage of supply and the increased demand is probably what's gonna cause this number to come in a little bit light. Perry says, Tom, weren't you talking the other night about tech jobs that one could locate to his or her favorite location instead of the main location in Silicon Valley? Yeah, so I think what you're seeing now is, for example, if you're a software engineer or something like that, the pandemic has taught us that you can be just as productive working remote than you could, you know, being in the office. So I think you're gonna see a lot of these bigger tech companies, like the ones that are located in Silicon Valley, they're able to attract more talent if they adopt a hybrid model. Because now, you know, think about the rental prices in Silicon Valley. Think about the rental prices in a city like New York. Extremely, extremely high. So if I could work at a Microsoft, you know, an Alphabet, Google, a Twitter, and still do my work and be as productive, but I can live in, you know, Bismarck, North Dakota, or Boise, Idaho, I think you're going to start to attract a lot more talent if you can negotiate that in your contract. And I think we're starting to see that. I mean, just look at the technology job explosion in San Antonio and Austin, Texas. I mean, no tech jobs were in Austin 10 years ago, but now there's a ton. There's a ton of tech jobs. Wow, Lizzie says, Tom, I'm trying to draw money of my home. Appraisal $480,000 in California. 2-bed, 1 bathroom. Oh my God. 1 bathroom. That's crazy. Lizzie Hatch says, Tom, I'm trying to move to Texas. What part of Texas are you looking to relocate to, Lizzie? Isn't that crazy? So $480,000 is how much it costs for a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. I mean, that's almost unbelievable for a 1-bedroom. I mean, 1 bathroom, excuse me. Canyon says that is the future for a 2-bed, 1-bath cost that much. What a joke. I mean, you probably have an absolutely beautiful house, but I mean, that just gives you sort of an understanding of the housing market. I mean, a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom is going for almost $500,000. That's insane. Would you ever think about keeping it as like an Airbnb, Lizzie? Because I'm sure where you live, you could probably get a lot of money maybe renting it out on a day-to-day basis through Airbnb. I don't know, maybe just an idea. Hey, Chump Villa says, Tom, I live in Austin, and that is very true. Yeah, Austin, Texas is supposedly turning into a big technology town. A lot of people are moving to Austin, Texas. Canyon overlooks the same condos cost that much in Miami. That is true. So Canyon, I think Miami took the #1 spot for most expensive rents. Not only in condos and apartment rentals, but also in single family housing rentals too. Smee Media says Dell Computer has been in Austin for decades. Yeah, but you're right, but I'm talking about like a broad-based, like massive build out of tech, like a second Silicon Valley sort of vibe where you're attracting a lot of startup companies, VC money, things like that. Austin is a very, very big growing city. Hey, Lee is here. Good to see you, Lee. Welcome, my friend. Lee says, Tom, came across this. The shift to work at home is so pronounced that New York properties near railroad stations now trade at a discount. That's insane. So Lee, to your point, and I think Lee's a native Long Islander. You know, to your point, if you were located anywhere near a Long Island Railroad track on Long Island, you know, that is the first thing you would see in the real estate advertisement, you know, very close to the LIRR. That's insane if that's true. Hey, Lewis is here. Good to see you, Lewis. Welcome. Fidel Cashflow says, Tom, 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom in DC is about $500 to $600 plus. I mean, who would want to live in DC? I mean, I guess DC is nice, but Wendy England says average benchmark price in Vancouver area is $1.2 million. I mean, it seems like the real estate market is it's just getting so insane. I mean, here's my biggest fear with the real estate market. You know, if we look at the data, the vast majority of single-digit millionaires or first-generation millionaires in America, they got there by having the majority of their net worth be in the equity values of their homes. So here's my biggest fear. If a starter home, right, I think we could all agree, and let me know if you guys don't agree, but I think we could all agree that a starter home is, you know, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, right? 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. I mean, I think that's even maybe a little bit smaller than a starter home. But if you have all of these starter homes that are $600,000 and up, you know, how is anybody that's just graduating college, maybe it's a young couple, they just had a kid, how is anybody going to be able to afford that? You know, my fear is that we turn into a renter nation where the majority of millennials and Gen Z can only afford to rent, right? Because if you think about it, you know, you're going to need at least $100,000 to put down on the property. And if a starter home in any major city that has jobs is $600,000, you're going to see a lot of investment management firms acquiring all the homes and leaving none for regular people. It's pretty crazy. Hey, Carolina Thomas here says, hey, Tom, the markets has looked solid. It loves to climb the wall of worry. Yeah, Carolina Tom, so yesterday was a follow-through day. We were briefly talking about this earlier in the stream. But my fear is that this rally was mainly a short covering rally. And a lot of these stocks are still down 70%, so they could easily bounce into their moving averages and roll over. But to your point, the markets do love to climb a wall of worry. You're right. Hey, Mohammed is here. Says, hey, bro, good to see you back. Good morning from Malaysia. Welcome, Mohammed. Thank you for being here. Lizzie Hatch says, Tom, my neighbor sold their home 2 doors down for $510,000. Lizzie, was her home another two bedroom, 1 bathroom? XOXX Bob says, FHA loan is a 3% down payment. Yeah, so you're right, XOXX Bob, but the lending standards, it's difficult to do 3% down now. You know, I mean, unless you have a really, really stable job and a phenomenal credit score, it's tough. I mean, for me, I had to put 25% down, mainly because I was self-employed. And if you're self-employed, essentially what you have to have is 2 years of income above $250,000. And I only have 1 year of income, because, what was it, October 2020 till now? Yeah, about a year. So the bank said, you're not going to get this loan unless you put 25% down, which was a lot more down than I wanted to put. I wanted to leverage that property a lot because I knew it would cash flow. It still cash flows even more now, but Cole says $858K for a 2-family, 3-bedroom, 3-bath. Wow. Where is that, Cole? Oh, Cole said he's from Staten Island. Forgot. Hey, Alexander says, Tom, 800 square foot home sold for $2 million in Sunnyvale. Canyon Overlook says, Tom, I'm retiring in a few years and will move to a cheap condo in non-flashy area. I think that's a good idea. Alexander says, a home recently went for $782,000. Hey, Gloria Mills says, set a time, appreciation, and thumbs up. Thank you, everybody. If you're enjoying the stream tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video if you are enjoying it. Yeah, Lizzie Hatch makes a good point. Like, what are my kids gonna do? You must be an owner. Well, I think in certain circumstances it's better to rent, but I think over the long term it's better to own. But I think one of the ways that you could sort of get around, and I guess sort of hack it, but is probably house hacking, where you put money down on the property and then you have roommates move in your spare bedroom. So, I mean, if you're young, if you're like 25, 26, or even a teenager and you can manage to get a loan, if you want to sacrifice a couple of years of your life and live with roommates, I would say that's a good way to build equity in your home and have other people pay for it. Cindy Foley, thank you for joining tonight. Appreciate it, Cindy. Lady O, hope you had a good St. Patrick's Day today. Ken Kramer says, I have cash flow positive properties here in New York. Property taxes are high, close to $40,000 a year. Wow. So Ken Kramer, have you raised your rents? Have you raised your rents on the tenants? Because everybody I talk to, everybody's telling me they're getting notices from their landlords that rents are going up. But to Ken Kramer's point, that's how much property taxes are in some locations in New York. Cole says, I've stayed in Brickell and the beach side. I prefer the beach side. Brickell reminds me too much of New York City. Funny. Yeah, I think that's why I spend a lot of time in Brickell, because it does remind me of New York City. Oven Mitt Andy is here. Good to see you, Oven Mitt Andy. Ken Kramer says, on a commercial property. Hey, the Swan is here. The Swan, happy St. Patrick's Day, my friend. The Swan is joining us from Ireland, so it's always good to see the Swan in the chat. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you, the Swan. Faces, Brickell is a nice place. Love Brickell. So Brickell is like a mini financial district. And during the day, I wish I could stream during the day, but I can't because I'm working. But it's really, really buzzing. Like, there's so many people getting lunch, and it just reminds me of sort of pre-COVID in New York City. It really, really reminds me of, 2019, coming out of my office in 45th Street, getting coffee with coworkers. The place is packed during the day in Brickell. So maybe we'll go down Flagler Street. WW says, I only moved to New York City post-COVID. Well, I mean, you probably got a good deal if you moved like during the heart of the Big C. Look, New York City is still a great place. I love New York. But I think with this remote work, there's not as many people in Midtown as there used to be. So check out the Metro Mover coming around. We are on Northeast 1st Street. Hey Logan, good to see you, my friend. John says, how are you, Tom? I'm doing very, very good. I hope you are well. Ken Kramer says, New York better be careful. They're turning assets into liabilities. That they are. I think I told everybody I was gonna buy a house on Long Island. I was gonna buy a house on Long Island, but here's the only thing. It would come with like a $12,000 property tax bill. Do the math. You're paying $12,000 a year and it's only gonna go up over, your 30-year, time where you're gonna be in the house. The property taxes are gonna erode your equity. Almost 100% of it. It's almost like you have to have tenants living in New York, because how is buying a house on Long Island, if you're the only one who's paying for it, how is that an asset if you're gonna pay $12,000 in property taxes every year? In 30 years, it rips away all your equity. XOXX Bob says, Tom, you need to do a stream of the Metro Mover one day. Maybe we'll jump on tonight, who knows? But just to give you guys an example of how crazy things are getting here, check out some of the real estate prices here. So this is in the Aston Martin Residences. This unit is going for $59 million. 7 bedrooms, 8.5 baths. Let's see if we, but check out how beautiful the Aston Martin building is gonna look once it's complete here in Miami. It's gonna glow this amazing white color at night. It's gonna be fantastic. But the main penthouse is about $62 million, which is quite crazy. Hey, John says, how's the weather in Miami? The weather is beautiful in Miami. Really love the weather here. Ken Kramer says, we'll be buying a condo in Sunny Isles Beach soon. We'll rent it out for now. Fantastic. That's awesome, Ken Kramer. Sunny Isles Beach is a beautiful, beautiful area. Yeah, Smee Media says, I'll take that commission on the penthouse, I know. Cole says, my favorite building in Southgate on the west. The views are great, the building smells good. Lizzie, Sacramento, California, copy. So everybody, that is in the works. So I am going to branch department of the company into real estate, but mainly more, not really residential. I don't want to do. I want to do like big multifamily units. So I am in the process of getting a real estate license here in Florida, as well as I want to sell real estate in New York too, and own my own brokerage. So I want to be able to sell the deals, do the deals, everything in-house. So that is coming soon, because I want to be able to broker some larger multifamily deals down here. I'm thinking in the space of like 50 to 100 or 250 doors, things like that. So maybe on the streams we'll do some tours of the buildings if we have time. But that is in the works. Because me and some of my friends, we want to get into the multifamily space. And I think the best way to do that for me is to, number one, get the real estate license here in Florida. And number two, as the years go on, build out my own brokerage firm. Fidel Cashflow says, you think I can get an FHA loan to get in the Aston Martin building? Maybe. You know what? In all honesty, the answer is, I know it's a joke, but the answer is probably no. I think the building is almost all sold out. As crazy as that may sound, I think the Aston Martin building is already totally sold out and the thing's not even finished yet. Insane. Hey, Dante Rose is here. Good to see you, Dante. Realty by Lance says, I could help with that, Tom. We just signed up 1,000 units. Realty by Lance. Dang it, I knew what I had to do this week. You ever have those feelings when you're sitting at your desk, I'm like, you know what? I'm done with all the action items for today. But there's one more thing I need to do. I needed to email Realty by Lance. I completely forgot. So Lance, thank you so much for saying that. Hey, NMB045 says, hey Tom, it's been a while. Have to catch your last 3 newsletters. How's it going? It's going great. So NMB045, thank you so much for joining, my friend, from Canada. EBITDA says, Tom, if you need help with real estate, my best friend and former employer develops 2,000 units a year, also in Florida. He is always the GP, but a genius when it comes to multifamily. Hey, EBITDA, I think you sent me an email before, so I'm gonna send you an email. I wanna get I have a lot of big plans for this year and next year. So I wanna get a lot of things set up. I wanna start to do a lot of deals. Yeah, so I think there's gonna be a lot of opportunities for everybody in the chat. So EBITDA, I'll send you an email, Realty by Lance. I will send you an email as well. But I think that's what I want to do, and then maybe later in life get into development, real estate development, where maybe we could buy out some of these really old, junky hotels and turn them into affordable housing units, not these luxury apartments that everybody's turning them into. Ken Kramer says, smart Tom, real estate is a must for growing wealth. That I agree. Hey, Perry says, how tall is the Aston Martin building supposed to be? You know, let's check it out. Let's check it out. We're gonna jog across the street because we don't want to get clocked. But the Aston Martin building is supposedly supposed to be complete by 2022 or late 2022. Canyon is good. We need more affordable condos. That's what I'm gonna try to do. You know, I have a lot of plans. We'll figure it out. Hey NG, it's good to see you, my friend. Welcome. Bob says it's going to be 817 feet. EBITDA says, I just helped finance his construction load of $85 million for his upcoming multifamily project. We work together often. EBITDA, that is fantastic. Yeah, if you don't mind, EBITDA, I would like to send you an email. But I think I already have your email address because you responded to one of the behind the street newsletters. So I will, I'll shoot you an email. Faith, good to see you. Smee Media says, Tom, keep streaming too. We want to keep up with your career. Yeah, I think I'll always stream just because I enjoy it. Because I can't work 12 hours a day and then not get any exercise. I got to get some exercise. EBITDA, a little bit of both. Look, I mean, if the government's going to hand out tax subsidy, then I think it's a good idea, right? So, you know, I got to post a link to the New York Post article, but the developers of 432 Park Avenue, which is the massive Billionaires Row Tower, you know, that same company built, I think, 147 affordable family units in the Bronx, right? But the reason why they did that is because they got a big tax credit on the 432 Park Avenue building. So I think it's good that government incentivizes good behavior, because right now, you know, if you want a sustainable economy that works for everybody has to participate. And I think in America we're leaning towards it's more difficult to advance in many ways, and I'm not trying to make excuses, but if we keep having runaway inflation in property prices and rents, how are people ever going to put things away for investment? I think it's probably going to be pretty impossible. So I think by building extremely affordable housing units here in Southern Florida and in New York, I think it's going to be good for the overall economy. I mean, I don't think people could continue to pay $3,000 a month in rent anymore. I don't think that's sustainable. Yes, me media says exercise and talk to all of us too. I think the best thing that has ever come out of streaming is just the amount of smart people I've met through streaming. I mean, you guys are incredible people, very smart, very talented, fantastic, the best people. So I think it's good to build your network, and it's fun. So we are looking at Brickell Key, which is directly across the river here. I guess I could call that a river. I guess this is the Miami River. But this place is always extremely packed. And this is Met 1, I believe. Hey, the Miami rep, hey Tom, you should start counting your steps. So I thought about getting an Apple Watch to do that, but then I don't really want to lose it. But supposedly we do like over 15,000 steps a day. Realty by Lance, appreciate you. Realty by Lance, I'm gonna email you tomorrow, I promise you that. I really just lost track of time. I was literally sitting at the desks today at my house. I was like, there's something I need to do. And I was gonna email you. Totally forgot. Maybe we'll meet up one of these days. If you're ever in Sunny Isles, I'll come over, we'll meet. John says club party. So here is the Aston Martin building, or the Aston Martin residences. EBITDA, you make a good point. So EBITDA says, Tom, all of these tax perks that are that the government gives for developing in OZ are pretty crucial, but there is more money just by developing in better neighborhoods, easy exits too. That's true. Hey, Shop by Scott is here. Says, hey, you guys, just wanted to pop in and say, hey, what is up, Scott? Good to see you, my friend. Jay is here. Good to see you, Jay. Welcome. It's already 10:30. Wow. We've already been streaming for almost 2 hours. Insane how the time goes by, everybody. Roy S says, I didn't recall you were using any watches, Tom. Yeah, I don't use watches. I thought about getting an Apple Watch, but I don't want to lose it. And I am definitely not good at losing. I'm definitely not good at holding on the watches and things like that. But maybe we'll have to. But Shop by Scott is another one who lives in Sunny Isles Beach. So very good to see you, Shop by Scott. San Miguel, the one and only, says congratulations, Tom, and happy St. City Solar Lights is here. Says happy St. Patrick's Day. Yes, everybody, happy St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, but I think it'd be an interesting thing on the stream, because I'm thinking about, so I really understand that I love to walk around and talk about finance, but I want to expand the audience for more interesting things. So could you imagine if we were walking by, you know, multifamily real estate or like a deal I'm working on, and then we could stream inside the deal? show you guys around the views, maybe talk to some of the prospective tenants, something like that. I think it'd be interesting. And I think it'd be really educational too, to see the deal progression from start to finish. And then we could sort of review the deals together. Say, okay, why did this deal fail? Why did this deal fall through? Why did this deal go through? So I think it would be a good learning experience for everybody, including myself. So hopefully we'll be streaming from some deals pretty soon, but it may take me a while to get off the ground. Hey, Andreas A is here. What's up, Andreas A? Good to see you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hey, Elizabeth is here. Says, hey, Tom. Carol H says, that would be awesome. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I think it'd be great. Jace is a real estate educational channel by Tom. Yeah, and I just bought my first deal, right? So I don't really know too much about real estate. So your first deal is always your learning deal, right? So I bought something that's manageable so I could understand property management. I could learn how to deal with tenants, learn about contracts. So I think by documenting that, I think everybody will learn from my mistakes as well. Hey, Tina Toomey says, hi, Tom. That sounds very interesting. Shop by Scott says, I'm going to introduce you to my 10X friends. They'll moon shoot you in no time. Good to see you, Scott. UPS says, S&P 500 with a shot at 3 consecutive 1% gains. These don't happen at the end of big moves. They usually kick off big moves. Ryan Detrick CMT today was third 1% move. It's UPS. Well, we did have a follow through day. It did qualify as a follow through day. Dean says, great idea, Tom. Good to see you, Dean. Let's try to cross the street here. Cynthia Beal says, I hear that when you get a realtor license, you must work under a broker first. I did hear that as well. I think it's something you have to close a couple deals before you could open your own broker. But that's what I want to do. I want to own my own infrastructure. So hopefully, maybe when I'm 40, I have my own wealth management office. I own my own real estate brokerage firm, things like that. But we'll see. Hey, XOXX Bob says, hey, Tom, good idea. And you're up to 13,500 subscribers. That's insane. That's insane. Well, thank you everybody for subscribing to the channel. I mean, that's incredible. I can't even get my mind around that. 13,500 people. It's just insane. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. It's been phenomenal talking to everybody. Hey, Perry says, Tom, I'm really impressed with how clean Miami is, especially the streets and the sidewalks. That was a big takeaway for me too. This place is so spotless. There's really no dirt, no trash, no nothing. Yeah, Bob says, yes, you must work under a broker in Florida first. You're right. Hey, Kevin Sunderland, the one and only. Thank you for the $20 donation to my friend Kevin. This has been a minute since I last checked in. Been a landlord since 2011. I've always charged just below market rent and had appreciative tenants, long-term tenants as a result. Yeah, Kevin Sunderland, I think that is probably the best way to go. So Kevin, what do you think about this idea? I think with my property that I just got about 4 months ago, I think to start out, I think I can maximize the amount of money I make by doing Airbnb and renting out the individual rooms first. And then as time progresses, when I go to buy my second deal, I think I'm just gonna rent out the entire house. But I do believe I need to own the property for at least 1 year legally before I can rent it out. I think if I rent out the whole house now, I could actually probably go to jail, which I don't want to do. So I'm gonna live in that property full time, but I just may do Airbnb. And if I Airbnb like for 2 weeks out of the month, I mean, that's gonna cover the mortgage and then some. I mean, it could cash flow really, really nicely. But Kevin Sunderland, thank you for the support. Thank you for your knowledge. And thank you for the conversation and the donation. I really, really appreciate it. But I mean, Kevin has a point. You know, people are gonna remember the landlords that didn't spike the ball. And when I say spike the ball, that means increase the rent like crazy. You know, I think there's a lot to be said with having compassion for people, especially as we are emerging out of a global pandemic. So I think that's a very ethical and fantastic thing you're doing, Scott. Carol H says, I recommend that you 100%. The real estate business is fascinating. Yeah, I really want to get into it. I'm mainly, you know, equities guy, but I think I really want to allocate a significant portion of my net worth and my time to real estate. Dean says, Tom, you are a true inspiration, enjoying your talks and walks. Dean, appreciate that. Oh, hey, what's up? But Dean, I appreciate that. Thank you. So will we have enough time? I think we will. I think we'll just have enough time to go over the bridge. Andrea Zayas says, Tom, your network is your net worth. That is a very good saying. Shop by Scott says, what I love most about Miami are 24-month leases, lock in great rates and residences. Hey, Shop by Scott. Are you gonna be in Wynwood this weekend? I'll send you a message on IG tomorrow morning because I want to go to Wynwood this weekend. I'm wondering if you're around. WW says, Tom, playing soccer in college is a pretty big deal. How come you don't talk about it more? I don't know. I mean, how many years am I out of college now? A lot. Geez, I'm getting old. But yeah, it was a blast. I think the best thing I ever did in my life, because I know it sounds cliche, not everything is about money. You guys know I like, you know, pursuing lucrative opportunities, whether it be in tech sales or something, but the best experience of my life was playing soccer in college, bar none. I couldn't even compare it to anything else. Because, I mean, the resources you get, you know, we just had everything. It was amazing. This is the Miami Tower right here, very beautiful. And also, I was very fortunate enough to play soccer with kids from all over the world. You know, we had international students from Australia. We had people from Brunei. We had a kid from Guam, which is a part of the United States territory. We had international students from China, from Egypt, everywhere. So I think it was probably the best experience of my life. Man, these cars are flying over this bridge, man. So we are gonna walk towards Brickell. We may not have the time. Carol H says, I also worked in real estate in New York and Miami. Carol, I may want to pick your brain about some things. Maybe I'll send you an email. Roy S says, agreed, Tom, not everything is about money. Unfortunately, everything is bought using money. That's true. I think if you have the opportunity to play a sport in college, you should do it. Because the only really friends I made in college are the people who are on my soccer team anyway. I think if I didn't play sport, I think everybody's so hesitant about walking over this bridge because these people go gangbusters across this thing like 100 miles an hour. Very dangerous. But yeah, if you play a college sport, I mean, the people you played, you know, whatever sport, XYZ, they're going to be your friends for life. So I think it's very important to do that. Or even just joining a club. Penelope, I'm not sure you were on the stream earlier, but we saw a cat over at the Science Museum. San Miguel says, Tom, you're in Miami, you'll be able to make lots of friends. So I'm going to be going to a lot of those Miami Tech meetups. So if anybody's in Miami or a part of Miami Tech, let me know. I will be at all those events. So this is a view of the W Hotel. Wow, everybody, check this guy's boat out. I think I see Lady O on this boat. Massive, massive yacht. Sometimes you could see fish swimming around the boats as they project the lights. That full moon is insane over Miami tonight. Cynthia Beals is Tom. Sports team, work, discipline, going for the ball. Yeah, it does definitely take a lot of discipline. I think the number one, if you could learn any skill in life, if you just work at being relentlessly disciplined, you're gonna succeed. I mean, it's impossible not to succeed if you're relentlessly disciplined.
I think
You don't even have to be smart. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to have any skill set, nothing. But if you just wake up every day at the same time, you hammer on the projects every day, and you do that relentlessly for 40 years, you're gonna get better at it. Whatever it is, if it's riding a skateboard, riding a bike, investing, sales, coding. If you just wake up every day and you just do it, no matter if you want to do it, you're gonna get better, you're gonna get good at it. Yeah, Jace is in learn another language, which really helps. Well, hopefully I'll be fluent in Spanish in a couple of years. That's the goal. So here we are at the W Hotel. Yeah, WW is just too few hours in a day. That is true. Alexander says Tom, sports is the dessert of life, but teaches you everything about life. That is true. Ken Kramer says discipline is everything. You know, one of the best books I've ever read was by this ex-Navy SEAL, Jocko Willink. I'm not sure if anybody's ever heard of him, but it's called, I'm blanking on the name of the book. Extreme Ownership. So if you want like a good audiobook to listen to, it's a very, very easy read. I mean, if you sit down and read this book, you could probably bang it out in one weekend, but Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink is probably one of the best books in terms of like personal development I've ever read. And very seldom do I read those type of books, but this book was actually really good. Crazy book though, by the way. It talks about the unbelievable combat that was going on in the battle for Ramadi in Iraq, which was just so brutal, so tragic, and a little bit depressing actually reading it, but I mean, the discipline and the determination of those guys was just really almost unbelievable. Hey, NMB045 says, we were required to learn Spanish in my private high school in Montreal. You know, we were technically required to do that too in my high school, but the Spanish we learned was not, let's just say, it's not like real applicable Spanish. It's very like structured. You can't really hold a conversation with anybody. It's too formal, I guess. Am I using the correct terminology? It's way too formal. It's not the reality. Hey, Unlimited Stimulus is here. Good to see you, Unlimited Stimulus. Yeah, Lady O's like, Tom, keep learning Korean and Spanish. It's a work in progress for sure. Sweet Dreams says Zelensky has a nice property in Miami, 30 million bucks. Does he really? I didn't know that. That's insane. All right, so we are crossing the street here. Yeah, Holo Fuel says there are literally more realtors in America right now than there are units for sale. So crazy. Isn't that the truth? That's insane. Well, I think a lot of people that get into real estate too, I mean, I was reading a statistic, I'm not sure how true it is, because I think the barrier to entry, if you wanted to sell like houses or something like that, it's relatively low. So a lot of people are actually licensed realtors, but I think something like 60% of them don't really even sell anything, just because they don't pursue it full time or things like that. But I think the main reason why I want to get into real estate is not really on selling residential stuff. I want to get into, you know, bigger like multi-family deals and like M&A, stuff like that. But you never know. Maybe we'll give it a shot. I have to figure it out. I want to get into like very big multifamily, like 250 units, sort of like brokering those deals or doing consulting work for M&A, things like that. So speaking of very overpriced apartments, this is District 225. Maybe I shouldn't say overpriced. I guess that's just the going rate. But here, the building is completely sold out. And I was reading an article in the New Miami. I'm not sure if anybody's ever heard of that, but the New Miami is an extremely popular, essentially like newsletter type business about real estate in Miami. Some people are bidding for an apartment and paying 12 months up front just to get a place in Brickell. I mean, that's insane. That's insane. Paying 12 months up front just to get a place in Brickell. NMB 045 says, what about commercial real estate, Tom, like offices? That's a good point too. I may want to do that, but here's what I'm thinking about longer term. You know, there's a lot of big real estate investors that made a lot of money back in the day doing conversions of office buildings to multifamily units. So I think we were talking about this one stream when we were streaming downtown from Wall Street. You know, really now that there's a lot of quantitative trading and things like that, and even especially after 9/11, a lot of the big investment banks and financial firms migrated from Lower Manhattan to Park Avenue. So a lot of those office buildings were totally vacant, but a lot of real estate developers came in, bought the buildings, and gutted the entire buildings and actually turned them into luxury apartments. So I may want to get into that down the line, because I think that'll solve a problem too. I mean, there's literally there's no inventory on the market. So I think as work from home, work remote becomes more popular, becomes more fashionable, I think there's going to be a lot more of those opportunities to sort of take those existing, let's say, commercial real estate buildings and transfer them to apartments. So this is the Northern Trust building with the full moon. That looks beautiful. Hey, cool weather farmers here. Dante Rose says, Tom, can anyone walk in Millionaires Row? I think so. Yeah. Why not? NMB 045 says, Cash Jordan did a video on church converted to residential real estate. You know, I've been watching a lot of his videos lately. I like the style of his videos. I think they're very unique. I think he makes a more approachable way to real estate, which is more entertaining, I think. I very much enjoy his videos. Speaking of him, I think he was just here on a vacation with his wife, I believe. Jay says a lot of U.S. automotive manufacturers had parts made in the Ukraine. That's a good point. Also, if we're talking about semiconductor production. Well, let me take a step back. Not semiconductor production, but a lot of the raw materials that go into the lithography process. It comes out of exclusively Russia and Ukraine. Michelle O'Rourke says, hey, you guys, I'm sorry I haven't been around. Life got a bit hectic. No problem. So I have a milestone update. My little girl has started crawling. Yo, very cool. So her dad is getting nervous she could crawl now. Well, congratulations, Michelle. That's awesome. That's fantastic. That must have been an amazing moment to witness that. That's awesome. Lady O says, I love Cash Jordan vids too. Yes, he was there with his family last weekend. Yeah, I think the reason why his videos appeal to me so much is because a lot of other people that do traditional real estate videos, it could seem too like corporate-y. Does that make sense? And I'm not like knocking them. Well, I love their videos too, but it seems like he's just like a regular guy. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if I'm explaining that correctly, but he's more relatable. Let's just say that. And provides a lot of good information. Hey, Tom, AK says, Tom, I can speak Argentinian as well. So I think if we give it 2 years, I'll probably be fluent in Spanish. Anytime I order food down here, I try to order in Spanish, even though I probably sound horrible. Hey, Falcon Spaces, are you familiar with the Bigger Pockets podcast? Yes, I listen to that every week. The Bigger Pockets podcast is fantastic if you're just wanting to break into real estate investing. So that podcast helped me out a lot when I closed this recent deal. Because originally I was just gonna house hack the entire thing and rent out the individual rooms. And by listening to the Bigger Pockets podcast, that really helped me closing this deal. So I believe this is one of the original bars in the United States. Kush by, what does it say, local? Tobacco Road, established in 1912. Dean says, you're absolutely right on Cash Jordan, Tom. Falcon Space is awesome, Tom. Good to see you, Falcon Space. Sweet Dream says, do you not cook for yourself? Always a takeaway. Sometimes it's very difficult for me to find the time to cook. And also, being that I just moved to Miami, I've been trying to try more small businesses, like local places. There's a lot of good food here, contrary to what a lot of people think. A lot of good Cuban food. Faith says, Tom can speak Spanglish, but can only communicate when it comes to food. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a fantastic Tesla. Emilio J says, Tim Dillon termed the corporate real estate agent talk as fake nice. Tim Dillon's hilarious. So speaking of Tim Dillon, I think he's also a native Long Islander out of Island Park, New York, which is very close to Long Beach, which is the last stop on the Long Island Railroad on the Long Beach line. Hey, Nicole's here. What's up, Nicole? This is Model 3. Yeah, Nicole, I think if I was ever gonna get a car, it's probably gonna be a Tesla, but that's probably like 10 years away. I don't think a car is in the books for me so far. So maybe tomorrow we'll do a stream from the office, but just as a quick recap for the topic for tonight. So tomorrow we're going to hear from the Bank of Japan. It is announcing its decisions on monetary policy. The Bank of Japan is expected to leave its key short-term interest rate unchanged at negative 0.1%. The Bank of Japan is the only central bank that is bucking the trend from the majority of the nations that are actually raising interest rates. And this is even amid a survey was done of all people in Japan. Well, not everybody, but a very select few people in Japan. There was a survey that was done, and it came back that they are expecting the worst inflation in decades in Japan, and they are going to continue the policy of negative interest rates. So tomorrow we're going to find out if the Bank of Japan leaves the interest rates unchanged or if they put them deeper into the negatives. We'll find out tomorrow. And this is really a global concern, and a lot of people are concerned that we may see negative interest rates here in the United States very soon. But I don't think so, because yesterday we had the Federal Reserve actually raise rates 25 basis points, which I think was the right thing to do, but I don't think it'll do anything to fight inflation. Obviously, because the Federal Reserve's balance sheet, which is now approaching $9 trillion, which is made up of mostly mortgage-backed securities and US Treasuries, has to be unwound. And I actually think the balance sheet is going to grow and not shrink. But the ABX girl, we will see you in the next one. Sunshine, New York. Good to see you. Nicole says, hey Tom, hope you're doing well, and same, Tesla equals dream car. Agreed. John says, Tom, do you like corned beef and cabbage? I do, but I'm not gonna have any this year, unfortunately. Does anybody know what time it is? Can we do a quick time check in the chat? I just want to make sure I'm gonna make my bus. Emilio J says he is. I think he's going to the Bitcoin 20. Yes, so we are. We will be going to the Bitcoin 2022 conference. We do have a press pass, so we will be front row and center when they interview Andrew Yang, Kathy Wood. She is obviously the CEO and founder of ARK Invest. And hopefully we will be front row and center for the Winklevoss twins, but they are an extremely, extremely sought after keynote speech. But I'll try my best. Ooh, it's 11 p.m. So we do have to head back. Unfortunately, we cannot go any further. I didn't know it was already 11. Insane. Usually these 1 hour streams tend to turn into 2 hours. You've already been going for 2 hours and 10 minutes. So if you guys enjoyed the stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video. And subscribe to the channel if you are new for more live streams around New York City and Miami. But Sunshine, New York, it's good to see you as always. Hope you had a great one. Andre says, Tom, I just joined after having a Guinness. Very nice. DWG says, good evening, Tom, from Canada. Welcome to all of our Canadian viewers. I'll be right back here tomorrow, probably around 9 o'clock. Juan Rosales, good to see you. Says, hey Tom, turn on subtitles, please. Thanks in advance. How do I do that? Sunshine, New York, let me know if you're gonna be in Miami. You gotta come down. Sunshine, New York says, Tom, go to West Palm Beach. So this weekend we're gonna be in South Beach, but the two places that I really need to get to is Key West, that's number one, and number two, I gotta get to Fort Lauderdale. Supposedly Fort Lauderdale is almost as nice, or if not nicer, than Miami. So we'll have to take a trip up there soon. Sometime at least. Wendy says, good stream. Thank you, Wendy. Robert says, Tom, you can't do subtitles on a live video. Too bad, too bad. You know, I think there needs to be some sort of AI where it can translate your language in real time. I think that would be a very, very good idea, to have some sort of AI where I'm talking and it can translate in real time in multiple different languages. Now that's a company I would invest in. I think Alphabet actually just acquired a company that is working on that, or maybe some sort of deep mind sort of activity. Yeah, Lady O, I'm not sure when Fernando's going to be down here, but yeah, I told him to text me if he's ever down here. But Fernando's here all the time now. He usually comes here once or twice a year. Canyon Overlook says, Tom, are there a lot of people on the bus when you go home? Yes. So the bus that I get is crazy packed. And I think the reason for that is because a lot of the people who work in the restaurants down here are probably just getting off of work at, right around 12:15. I mean, not 12:15, 11:15, 11:30. So yeah, the bus is always packed. And I guess it makes sense because the Whole Foods closes at 11 too. Hey, Talib says, Tom, Palm Beach Gardens is my favorite. We also have to do a stream at the University of Miami. I think it was a student group at the University of Miami emailed me wanting me to do a stream from the University of Miami and have them talk about economics. So maybe we'll do that, but it's going to be difficult for me to get there. That's the thing. NMB045 says, maybe Max and Stacy can send their Spanish translator for the Kaiser report for your stream. Yeah, so NMB045, hopefully I'll be able to see Max Kaiser at the Bitcoin conference. That's going to be interesting. I think I'm most excited to meet. I really want to pick Andrew Yang's brain. I want to talk to Andrew Yang. Hopefully I get a chance to do that. And Kathy Wood too. I want to do a quick interview with her, hopefully, and put it in the newsletter. But she's very busy. So I think we'll just be able to stream her keynote speech. Somebody says, Tom, get a Vespa. Maybe. San Miguel says, Tom, do you buy groceries? Sometimes I do. But then again, I'm usually traveling every 2 weeks. So it's very difficult for me to buy groceries because I don't want to waste any food. But if I do buy groceries, it's just very, very little. Emilio J says, Tom, UBI may seem necessary. Yeah, I think this is where I may differ from the traditional conservative, or I definitely do differ. Because, being in tech and consulting with a lot of different businesses, I can tell everybody conclusively, like, I am consulting with companies that once their softwares are fully implemented, in 10 years, they will be displacing thousands of jobs. I could tell you that with 1,000% certainty. And the goal is not to stifle innovation. The goal is to find a way where you can retrain and retool your workforce for a new world economy without having to stifle innovation. So as the 5G rollout really materializes, you're going to see a lot of autonomous vehicles. You're going to see a ton of stuff, just crazy, crazy stuff that will unfortunately displace a lot of workers. So I think you're going to need a transitionary period in the economy. I think this guy is texting or on his phone or something. Very dangerous. But yeah, anyway, I think you're going to need a transitionary period in the economy where we provide people with the opportunity and the tools they need to retrain and retool for a new economy. Yeah, Cannon Overlook says, look at all the tellers, they are gone. You know what always reminds me of disruption? Is whenever I'm walking around Grand Central Terminal and you see literally 50 ticket windows, and there's only one ticket window that's actually operational. Why is that? People buy their tickets on a robot, right? You may not want to call it a robot, but it is a robot. The robot started with traditional machines, but now your ticket is your cell phone. There's no need for somebody to sell you a physical ticket. So all like those tellers that sell you the train tickets, every one of them's empty. You know, has anybody walked into a McDonald's lately? I went into a McDonald's the first time in a long time just to get a drink. And the whole lobby was not crowded with people, it was crowded with robots, right? Now, I call them robots, but they're those self-ordering machines. But that's technically a robot. A robot takes your order. It's crazy. Hey, Winsty, says Tom, where are you headed now? We are headed home now, everybody. I appreciate everybody joining the streams. I think it was a pretty fun stream tonight. We covered a lot. We talked about the Bank of Japan. We talked about the S&P 500, had a follow-through day yesterday. We visited the Frost Science Museum. And we also talked a little bit about real estate investing. So I think it was a good time. I learned a lot. Beautiful night in Miami tonight. But we are gonna have to end it here. So I do have to get the bus. Yeah, Lady O makes a good point. She's like, Tom, supermarkets are adding more self-checkout now too. All right, everybody, but we will end it here. Thanks again for joining. If you guys want to sign up for the free financial newsletter that I write every single week, if you type !news, NEWS, in the chat, it will drop the link to the Behind the Street newsletter, where we cover not only the US equities market, we cover international markets, emerging markets, commodities markets, things like that. So please feel free to sign up for that. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow @WalksWallStreet. And thank you everybody for joining, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic Friday. Have a safe rest of your St. Patrick's Day. And to the mighty bull, have a good night wherever you are, because there is always a bull market somewhere. And you just need to know where to look. And I'll see everybody right back here tomorrow. Abdullah, Lewis, Roy S, Faith, Jim out and about. Everybody, appreciate it. And I'll see you tomorrow.